Hello, dear students. Greetings of the day. Today we are having our fourth lecture of chapter the Union Parliament. Today we are going to study about the sorry about powers, functions of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Today we will study about the powers, functions of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So we are having, there are different types of powers and functions of Rajya Sabha as well as Lok Sabha. If we are supposed to categorize these functions, then we can categorize under legislative powers, under financial powers, under electoral functions, judicial powers, amendments to the constitution. So many types of powers we are going to study. So, sorry. The first one which we are going to study is the legislative powers of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Now, legislative, as word itself suggests that legislate means to make laws, right? To make laws, right? So these are the powers which are associated for making laws. Okay, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, these both houses are responsible for making laws or amending laws. Now, uh, there are different types of things or subjects on which laws can be made, right? Either by union government or by state government. Okay, so we can say the subjects on which laws are to be made are divided among three lists. First is union list, and in union list there are 97 subjects. Second is state list. In state list there are 66 subjects. In your notebook it may be written 61. Just make it correct it. Okay, make it 66. Right. And in concurrent list 47 subjects. Okay. Uh, so these many subjects are there. Now what is the meaning of this? It means that the subjects, 97 subjects which are given on in union list, on those subjects only parliament can legislate. Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha can legislate, whereas on the 66 subjects given in state list, the state legislative assemblies can legislate. Okay, so this will not come here. You just need to write union list and concurrent list. Concurrent list is a list of subjects on which union government as well as the state government both can legislate. Okay, and after that, the subjects or the issues or the things which are not in any of the list, neither in union list nor in state list nor in concurrent list. Okay, right? So such type of such type of subjects falls under the residuary subjects. Okay, that we will study. Second point. The first point, legislative power. The first point is that parliament can legislate on 97 subjects of union list and 47 subjects of concurrent list, right? And on these 66 subjects of state list, only state legislative assembly can legislate. Okay, now residuary powers, parliament possess residuary powers. It means that it can make laws with respect to all those matters which are not mentioned in any of the three lists, in these three lists, right? The union list, the state list and the concurrent list, right? If any matter is there which is not in these three lists, that matter will be considered residuary matter, right? And will be legislated by parliament, not by the state government. Okay, so this question was asked in 2016. What is the meaning of residuary powers? Okay, now one more question is here, in which circumstances the union parliament can legislate on the subjects given in state list. Okay, so this is state list is here. We know that only state government can legislate on this, but there is one circumstance, right? Two circumstances are there. First is that if in one state if president rule is imposed by using article 356 or there is a constitutional breakdown in any of the state, either it is Maharashtra or UP or Gujarat or any state, okay, and their president rule is imposed, okay, so at that time the union government, of which we can say the parliament, will legislate on all subjects of state list, okay, right. And second thing is that suppose if 66 subjects are there, and if Rajya Sabha consider that one of these 66 subjects has attained the national importance, okay, it has become of national importance, right. So they Rajya Sabha may ask the parliament to legislate on that particular subject, okay, that is also one of the condition for ruling, right, on the subject list or legislating on the subject given in state list, right. So matter in state list, you can say that the parliament can legislate on even on the subjects of state list during the proclamation of emergency. First condition. Second condition, when the Rajya Sabha passes a resolution by two-third majority. Which majority? Two-third majority, that a subject in the state list has assumed national importance, right. So there are 250 members in Rajya Sabha, right, and two-third of its members are saying that okay, one subject of state list has attained or assumed national importance, okay, then what will happen? Then on that particular subject, who will legislate? The parliament will legislate, okay. Was the second condition, and there is one more condition when the parliament can legislate on the subjects given in the state list. That condition is when two or more states are of the opinion that the parliament should legislate on a subject given in the state list. The parliament may make an act on that subject, but that would be applicable only to the consenting states. Suppose if three states, two or more states, suppose Uttarakhand and UP, right, or one more state, suppose Punjab, okay, they all together says that okay, one subject you can say agriculture, okay, agriculture is in state list, right. If this says that okay, agriculture, this subject has assumed national importance, right, and ask the parliament to legislate on this, then what will happen? The parliament will make related to will make laws related to agriculture, okay. That is the third condition when the parliament can legislate on state subjects. So I think it is all clear to you. This is also clear to you. Now ordinances. What is the meaning of ordinance? Ordinances are promulgated by president, okay. So these are the laws, or you can say orders of president, okay, when the parliament is not in session, okay, when there is no monsoon session or winter session or budget session is not going on, right. So during that lapse, okay, during that time when the session is not going on, if one order is supposed to be released or one law is supposed to be made, okay, then that law will be made by the order of president, and that order is called ordinance, okay. So it is proclaimed or promulgated by or declared by president when parliament is not in session, and once it is declared, okay, then suppose after 2 months what is happening, the parliament session takes place, okay. Suppose on 1st of April parliament session takes place, okay, then after 6 weeks since then, okay, means you can say 6 weeks means 20 such 42 days, right. 40, after 42 days, or you can say it may be around 12 of May, right. After 12 of May, what will happen? That particular order of president will ceased, okay, it will cease to operate, right. It will cease to operate once the parliament comes back into the session. Okay, so cease to operate after 6 weeks from the reassembly of parliament unless approved by house. Either that particular ordinance need to be approved by house, otherwise it will cease to operate after 6 weeks from the reassembly. On 1st April, on 1st April, what is happening? The parliament is reassembling, right? So 6 weeks, maybe around 12 of May. Okay, so after 12 May, it will cease to operate. That ordinance which was passed, which was proclaimed or promulgated by president, will cease to operate. So I hope you would understood this also. Now, question is here. Under which circumstances parliament can make laws on state list, right? State list subject. This was asked in 2011. I have already answered you. Right? And I have given you 3 conditions, right? For that, let us see what is written in our notebook. Now, under these special circumstances, the parliament can make laws for the states to: first, promulgation of emergency or president rule. Okay, when there is a emergency, right, in India, either by article 352 or by 356, right, then in that case also what will happen? The union government or the parliament will make laws on the subjects given in state list. Then second condition, if a resolution is passed by Rajya Sabha with special majority, means two-third, right, two-third majority, right, in the national interest, means a resolution by two-third, if a resolution passed by Rajya Sabha with special majority in the national interest, it means that if Rajya Sabha passes a resolution by two-third majority declaring that one subject in state list has assumed the national importance, okay, then the parliament will legislate on that particular subject given in the state list. Okay, then third condition, a resolution by 2 or 3 states. I have given you example of Punjab, Uttarakhand and UP, urging upon the parliament to make law for them on certain items of the state list. Okay, I have given you example of agriculture also. Now, if there is any international treaty or agreement to be executed, okay, if there is an international treaty or agreement was there, right, like suppose countries which were having Treaty of Versailles or other treaties which were signed, okay, later on, and those treaties are supposed to be followed, right, in that case, if that particular subject is involved, then that subject of state list will be legislated by union government, or you can say the parliament. Okay, now parliament, not union government, parliament. Okay, now financial powers. Lok Sabha enjoys greater powers than Rajya Sabha on financial matters. The latter has only advisory role in this matter. Latter means Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha has only advisory role in these matters. Now, this was regarding money bill. Okay, a money bill can originate in Lok Sabha only. Rajya Sabha can only withhold it for maximum 14 days. Okay, so in Rajya Sabha, money bill cannot be originated. Money bill can originate in Lok Sabha only, and Rajya Sabha has to give its assent, right, or to give it to pass it by keeping 14 days or withholding it for maximum 14 days. Okay, so Rajya Sabha can only withhold this money bill for 14 days, and apart from holding this, it can also give advice to Lok Sabha to make some changes in that particular money bill. But now it will not be compulsory for Lok Sabha to follow the advices of Rajya Sabha. They may follow also, and they may reject the advices of Rajya Sabha also. Okay, it is up to Lok Sabha. Then the budget. An estimate. What is budget? Budget is an estimate of income and expenditure of government. Okay, how much amount of money government will earn, how much it will expend, how much it will spend, okay, on some government schemes, right? So it is an estimate of income and expenditure of government for a financial year, right? Financial year starts from April 1, okay. our year basically starts from January 1st, but the financial year starts from 1st April and lasts till 31st of March. Okay, so you must have heard your parents saying that closing is going on, financial closing is going on. If your father's father is a banker, okay, then he must be saying all these words, right? Or if some government servant, okay, then they people are very much worried about the closing, that is 31st March, right? So you may have come across this word at the time. Okay, so financial year begin on 1st of April and last on 31st of March. Okay, so on 1st of April, on before 1st of April only, the budget is presented. Okay, so budget is what? Budget is just an estimate of the income and expenditure of the government. Okay, budget are of two types. First is railway budget and second is general budget. Okay, now, railway budget is budget associated with the railway, and general budget is budget for the all other things except railway in India. Okay. Now, suppose if, okay, that was all about budget, right? Now, what is supplementary grant? Okay, so if the amount authorized for current financial year is not sufficient, okay, suppose when budget was passed, so it was said that 1 lakh crore rupees will be spent for the developmental works in India. How much? 1 lakh crore rupees. Okay, it was passed. Okay, right? Then afterwards, what happened? Till the month of January and February, what happened? Uh, this amount became insufficient. Okay, right? So in that case, what will happen? The government may ask for a supplementary grant from the parliament. Okay, and parliament will allow government to release fund. Okay, so that grant, that permission is called supplementary grant. Okay, when it is asked in case when the uh, uh, if the amount authorized for the current financial year, that is from April 1st to March 31, is not sufficient. Okay, means the amount which was passed during the budget is not sufficient, right? The government may make a fresh demand known as supplementary grant. I hope you would have understood this. Now, vote on account. What is the meaning of vote on account? Now, suppose it is a device which authorizes the executive to draw fund from the consolidated fund after 1st April until the budget is passed by the parliament. Suppose a budget was supposed to be passed before 1st of April, okay, and budget was not passed before 1st of April because due to some unavoidable circumstances. Okay, so what will happen? Suppose if budget is getting passed on 20th of April, so right, from 1st April to 20th April, what government will do? Okay, it is not having money, right? So it was having money which was till sufficient till 31st of March only. Okay, for one financial year. Now after the closing of one financial year on 31st of March, so from 1st April, what the government will do? Okay, it is not having money. So in that case, it can withdraw. It can draw amount or fund from consolidated fund of India. Okay, and that drawing is called, that device is called vote on account. Okay, so it is a device which authorizes the executive, means the government, to draw funds from the consolidated fund after 1st April, okay, until the budget is passed by the parliament. Then fourth is, it is the financial power of parliament to decide salaries and allowances of MPs. Okay, all salaries, means it is an irony, right? Means the MPs themselves decide their salaries. Okay, they decide salaries for other people also, and they decide salary for themselves also. Like that's why their salaries is too much high. Okay, now permission for taxes. No tax can be imposed or money spent by the government without the approval of parliament. Okay, so no new tax can be imposed, right? Or money cannot be spent without the permission of the government. Okay, no tax can be imposed or money spent by the government without the approval of parliament. If parliament is not approving one tax, then the government cannot impose that tax. Or if parliament is not approving some expenditure on some particular thing, right, by the government, then government will not spend that money on that particular thing. Now, what are the judicial powers? Judicial powers, the powers which are related to the justice. Okay. So impeachment of the president, right? Parliament has right to remove president through a procedure called impeachment, right? So this is the judicial power of parliament. Now, impeachment of Supreme Court judges and High Court judges, Chief Election Commissioner and CAG, Comptroller, Auditor General of India, etc. is also carried out by parliament only, right? Now, what is the impeachment? Impeachment is a process to remove president as well as the judges of Supreme Court and High Courts. Okay. Now, how it is carried out means the president can be removed from his seat in case of violation of constitution, right? Or in some grave misconduct, in case of some grave misconduct. So suppose if Ram Nath Kovind, our president, honorable president, okay, if he commits some grave misconduct, right, or if he violate the constitution of India, then what will happen? Then the one fourth of total majority of a house will frame charges against our president. Okay, like suppose if it is being passed in Rajya Sabha, okay, the total membership of Rajya Sabha is 250, right, and the one fourth will be uh, 6 around 63, okay, 62 or 63, right? So what will happen? The charges will be framed, right? A draft of the charges will be framed and it will be signed by at least 62 or 63 members of Rajya Sabha, means one fourth member of Rajya Sabha. And if it is if same thing is getting originated in Lok Sabha, then one fourth of total majority of Lok Sabha will also sign that particular draft or particular sheet of charges, okay, charge sheet, right? Now, after that, once it is framed, it will be presented in that house and it will be passed by the two-third majority, two-third of total strength of that house, okay. Like suppose if 250 members are there in Rajya Sabha, so two-third of that will be 167, and if it is passed from there, then it will be sent to Lok Sabha, right? And Lok Sabha will investigate the charges, and again it will pass it, right? The, you can say, motion of impeachment by two-third of its majority, means 545 is the total majority of Lok Sabha, and two-third of it will be 364, right? So then what will happen if it is done in both the houses? Then the president will stand impeached. Okay. This is the procedure for impeachment of president. The same procedure is for impeachment of judges of High Court and Supreme Courts. Now, punishment. Okay, Parliament can punish one person also. It can punish its members and officials for its contempt. Okay, if the contempt is there, contempt of Parliament is there, then it can punish its members also. Right. Now, electoral functions. What are the electoral functions of Parliament? Parliament elects president. Electoral means the duty of electing some person, okay, or some designatory, right? So Parliament elect president. Parliament elect vice president. Here, Parliament along with the legislative assemblies of state elect president, and during the elections of vice president, only Parliament participate in the election of vice president, right? Parliament, or you can say Lok Sabha elect its speaker, right, and deputy speaker also, right, and Rajya Sabha elects its deputy chairman, right, or deputy chairman, okay, of Rajya Sabha. Not the chairman. Okay, chairman is not elected by Rajya Sabha. Why? Because Vice President of India is by default chairman of Rajya Sabha, right? So these are the five ways by which Parliament, okay, either sometime Rajya Sabha alone or Lok Sabha alone or both the houses together, right, do this electoral function. Then next is amendment of the constitution, right? Constitution can be amended, right, by a simple majority or by a special majority too. Okay, Parliament can make changes or amendments. Amendment means to make changes in constitution by passing an amendment bill with a special majority of two-thirds of its members. However, some provisions require the approval of at least half of the states after they are passed by Parliament. Okay, so some are passed by simple majority, some are passed by special majority, and some are passed by two-third majority, and some are passed by special majority. Okay. Now, next is parliamentary control over the executive. Okay, so how parliament control executive? What is executive? Executive is government. Okay, the council of ministers along with prime minister, okay, this entire is called executive, right? So a very significant function of parliament is to exercise its control on council of ministers by way of holding responsible for its act of omission and commission. So whatever the government do, okay, Parliament hold the government responsible for its commissioning of that act or omitting that act. Okay, whatever government do and whatever they don't do. Okay, for both the things, Parliament declare or Parliament hold government responsible for that. Okay, if like suppose government has done something wrong. Okay, then Parliament will hold it responsible for that unlawful or wrong commission of act. Okay, then if government is not doing something, okay, then again Parliament will hold it responsible for the act of omission, right? One more thing is here. How means this is the way how the parliament means members of Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha, they both control the government means the party which has maximum number of seats in Lok Sabha. Okay, right? So how that is controlled? Okay, so what which are the ways by which the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha together can control the government? Okay, government means the party which is having maximum number of candidates or members in Lok Sabha, right? Second thing is interpellation. Interpellation means asking questions. Okay, so the question hour, calling attention motion, okay, and 0 hour, half an hour discussion. Okay, these are some of the devices which seek information from the government over various issues. They ask questions. Okay, like suppose if there is an issue of uh, uh, NRC or CEA, CAA or Ram Mandir or Triple Talaq or Population Act or any act is here, okay, or any bill is here, right? Getting or not? So on that issue, if you want to seek information, then you can ask question to the government, and that will be called interpellation. I have already told you about interpellation and the types of categories of questions, starred and starred questions. Okay, now vote of no confidence, this is one of the device, okay, right, to control the government, right? Vote of no confidence or no confidence motion, it is a motion to vote out the government if you feel that government is not working constitutionally. Okay, if uh, not you means if the parliamentarian, okay, especially Lok Sabha. Acha, one most important thing about no confidence motion is that it is only passed in Lok Sabha, not in Rajya Sabha. Why Lok Sabha? Because the government is formed in Lok Sabha only. The party which is having maximum number of candidates or maximum number of members of Lok Sabha, that party forms its government. Okay, and this motion is against that particular government. Okay, expressing its uh, lack of confidence in that government. Okay, so means that thing is related to Lok Sabha, so it will be passed only in Lok Sabha, not in Rajya Sabha, right? It is a motion to vote out the government. If it is passed against PM or against a minister or entire ministry, then entire council of ministers will have to resign. That is why it is said that council of ministers swims together and sing together. Now, what is no confidence motion? No confidence motion means that if majority of members of Lok Sabha says that we are not having confidence in this government is not functioning well, and we want another government, okay, right? Getting or not, or we want another ministry. Like suppose, for example, if BJP government is ruling right now, okay, and if majority of members, okay, like how many members are needed? 545 divided by 2 plus 1, right? So it will be 2, 7, and then 45, 3. 273 or 76, okay, right, just calculated, so means that much number of just give me one moment. 277 or 78 members are required, okay, right? So if there, suppose if there are uh, 545 members in Lok Sabha, then uh, more than half of the members of Lok Sabha should express their lack of confidence in the government. Then what will happen? Then that entire government will collapse. Or if suppose these members are expressing their lack of confidence against one minister, say against the law minister, okay, Ravi Shankar Prasad, right? Then what will happen? Ravi Shankar Prasad will have to resign, okay, as well as the entire council of ministers along with the prime minister will have to resign. That is why it is said that, okay, the council of ministers swims together and sing together. If one person is forced to resign, then entire council of ministers will give its resignation, right? And in that case, what will happen? In that case, it shows that that motion is passed. It means that the people, those who are opposing this council of minister or the government, right, their number is more than the number of the present government. That is why only they are successful in doing so, okay, because they need majority, right? More than half of the candidates of Lok Sabha should express their no confidence, okay, right, in the government. And if more than half of the candidates are expressing their no confidence in government, then what will happen? That government will collapse and new government will be formed, okay. That group of two, that group of you can say which is more than half of the total strength of Lok Sabha will form their own government. Now, adjournment motion. What is adjournment motion? Adjournment motion is for suspending the functioning of the house, okay, and taking some other matter into account or deliberation, right? So to take up immediate issue rather than scheduled matter, okay, that is what adjournment motion we have already studied, okay. Suppose if a scheduled matter is going on, scheduled matter was the deliberation over triple talaq, okay, and it was going on, right? The business of the house was going on in Lok Sabha or in both the houses, right? Then all of a sudden, what happened? One cyclone, okay, hit Odisha or Andhra Pradesh or West Bengal, okay, and that was very much catastrophic cyclone, okay. Then what will happen? This adjournment motion will be passed, okay. and that regular working will be kept aside, okay, and that cyclone will be discussed how to, you know, undo the effects of that catastrophic natural hazard or natural disaster, okay, uh, will be discussed, okay. Then various schemes will be launched, right, in order to provide respite to the affected people. Clear? That was adjournment motion. Now other motion of censure. Censure means in Hindi it is called ninda prastav, okay. Ninda means when you criticize someone, right. Like suppose when you are disapproving, okay, with someone, that is called censuring, okay, right. So motion of censure against a minister, that is ninda prastav. Rejection of government bill, uh, private bill against government's bill, okay. So if a government is bringing a bill in Lok Sabha, right, and that bill is rejected, okay, that bill is rejected, that bill is not passed, ठीक. So that will be one of the one of the type of censuring motion, okay, or censuring, okay, doing ninda of government. If it is done, if one government bill is rejected or one private bill is passed, okay. Private bill means a bill which is not brought by government, okay, or by it is uh, or a minister, okay. It is a bill which is which is introduced by the opposition party, okay, by or any member of Lok Sabha other than government, okay, or other than council of minister, okay. If a bill is being presented in Lok Sabha by its one of the member other than the member of council of minister, right, or other than a minister, then it is called private bill, okay. If these two things takes place, one government bill is rejected and one private bill is passed against the government bill, okay, then uh, it infer that okay, government is not having majority on the floor and government will have to prove its majority again. It will lead to no confidence motion, okay. Ultimately government will be, you know, dissolved because of passing of these two bills, right. Now another is monetary control. Monetary control by cut motion. Cut motion is passed, okay, when budget is presented, okay, or then in that case what happened, if the parliamentarians thinks that okay, this is too much, okay, to be passed and there should be a reduction of 10% to 20%, then they will advise that okay, if suppose 1 lakh crore rupees were asked and they are saying it is too much and they are providing only 80,000 crore rupees, so that is called a cut motion, okay. A cut motion is also a censuring motion against the government, okay. Now other other powers, it can alter the boundaries of state and can create even new states. Parliament can alter the boundaries of states and create new states. It can make laws regarding composition and power of Supreme Court, okay. So parliament can you know, change the composition of Supreme Court, okay. Today's composition of Supreme Court is 30 judges are there and one Chief Justice of India is there. So including Chief Justice of India, there are 31 judges in Supreme Court, okay. So it was not so before, okay. At one time there were 7 judges in Supreme Court also were there, right. There were 7 judges also one time. So it means it is in the hands of parliament, okay. Parliament can decide how, what will be the strength of Supreme Court, right, and what will be the composition and power of Supreme Court. It can also establish common high courts, okay, high courts like common high courts for 2 or 3 states of northeast, okay, like that. Now what are the exclusive powers of two houses? Exclusive powers of two houses means that particular house only enjoy that power, like Lok Sabha, okay. A money bill can be introduced only in Lok Sabha, okay, not in Rajya Sabha. That is the exclusive power of Lok Sabha. No confidence motion is passed in the Lok Sabha only. I have already told you that is also exclusive power of Lok Sabha. The Rajya Sabha can establish new All India service. Okay, so if like suppose All India administrative services are there, All India police services are there, right? So likewise, if one new service, or suppose teaching services, suppose All India teacher services is to be created, okay, then it will be the Rajya Sabha who will discuss this matter and will create All India teaching services, okay, or a service like that, okay. Get it or not? It can declare a state subject of national importance and empower the parliament to legislate on it. Okay, it can declare a state subject. It can declare a state subject uh, of national importance and empower the parliament to legislate on it. It means that okay, I have already told you that okay, it can declare one subject given in state list of national importance, okay, and can empower parliament to legislate on it. Okay, you have understood all these things. I hope you would have got all the things. If few things are remaining, that is in our book. Just give me a second. Let me check which things are remaining. Okay, here these are the things. Relationship between the two houses of the parliament. Okay, the parliament consists of two houses. Participation and collaboration of both the houses are needed for all legislative functions. However, the constitution recognizes the superiority of Lok Sabha over Rajya Sabha. Why? Because there are the strength of Lok Sabha is more than the strength of Rajya Sabha. That is one of the reason for the superiority of Rajya Sabha. Oh, sorry, Lok Sabha. And second, the Lok Sabha represents the people directly as its members are elected by the people, right? On the other hand, Rajya Sabha represents the states of the Indian Union and its members are elected indirectly by the members of the state legislative assemblies. They never have to go to the people. Because of this, the Lok Sabha is given an upper hand in many matters concerning the parliament. We shall discuss their relationship here below. So this is the relationship difference over the legislative matters. Legislative functions belongs to two categories: ordinary bills and money bills. Okay, we have already discussed. Money bills are the bills which include financial matters. Okay, all bills other than money bills are called ordinary bills, and ordinary bill is supposed to be passed by both the houses of parliament, that is by Lok Sabha also and by Rajya Sabha also. And after getting passed, it needs to have an assent from president. If it gets its assent from president, then that bill become a law, right? In case if a bill is passed by either of the house and not passed by other house, okay, then in that type of situation deadlock condition is arises. Okay, if the deadlock condition arises, in that type of condition the president of India can summon, okay, summon the joint session of Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha, which will be presided by the speaker of Lok Sabha. Okay, I am saying here it will be summoned by president will call it, okay, but who will be the president of the session of the joint sitting of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha? The speaker of Lok Sabha will be the president of the joint sitting of Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha, and that particular thing will be discussed here, okay, in the joint session, right? And in joint session we already know that Lok Sabha is always having an upper hand, okay, its decision prevails because of its strength, which is 542, approximately more than double than the strength of Rajya Sabha. Okay, then money bill. What is money bill? Money bill is a bill which include financial matters. It can only originate in Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha can withhold it only for 14 days. After 14 days, it has to forward it to the Lok Sabha, giving its suggestions or advices. It is up to Lok Sabha whether to accept the advices or reject the advices. Okay, these are the things, right? Then control over the executive. How parliament control over executive, that we have already discussed, by interpellation, by passing no confidence motion, or by censure by passing censuring motions. Okay, and election of the president and the vice president. Okay, both Rajya Sabha as well as Lok Sabha participate in election of